It's running a little late. We can do that. Okay. All right, I'm going to call the meeting together to order. The chairman's running a little late. We can do some housekeeping and then need be, we can take a short break. The first matter on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. Before I take a motion on that, the chairman called me. I talked to the court reporter. He had a correction to the December 15th Kerry Farms transcript, line 23, Mr. Daniel should be struck. It's in the middle of Mr. Cottertell's statement. Other than that, the minutes are up for approval. It's the minutes of the zoning case 22-000059 Kerry Farms, December 15th, 2022. The recommendation meeting minutes of January 5th, 2023. Zoning case 22-000063 Timber Hill Group, January 10th, 2022 transcript. Zoning case again for Kerry Farms, the January 12th, 2023 meeting. And zoning case for Kerry Farms, again, the recommendation meeting, January 12th, 2023. So I would call for a motion regarding the minutes.
I'll make that motion subject to the changes you discussed for the chairman.
Motion made. Is there a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The distinguished chairman has appeared. We can move to the first item on the agenda after the approval of the minutes.
Sorry, I was waiting in the cafeteria for all. Okay, well, then, next item on the agenda is the consideration of the Winfield Township case called VK Acquisitions 6, the LLC, and that's 22061. So would you like to start the discussion or make a motion?
Who is Winfield?
That's me. I'm with you.
Okay.
I make a motion to deny it.
I second it. It was Mr. Murphy made the motion to deny. Was it Mr. Schultz that made the second? Sorry, I didn't hear. Okay, discussion on that motion?
I'd be in favor of it. I think it's a failure to prove. My first problem is this is what we call green space. It's open. And when we have green space, and I view it and look harder at it when it comes to variances on an open space. And the only hardship that was put forward was that they need to get the full value of the property. And the only way their proposal fits in has to be that they get these variances. And to me, that's not a hardship. One of my other problems with this is they have other, I think they have other facilities with the testimony throughout the country. And here they couldn't tell us the particulars on any prospective tenants for this property. Which left us with, at least me, I had no idea of what the trucks will carry. Could it be hazardous, flammable? There's no facts presented as to how many people will be on the trucks. Is it a driver and a helper? How many trucks will it be there? The facts is that the trucks will be parking there, but they've made no testimony as to if the trucks come there, how do the drivers and maybe the helpers get to and from the facility? They wanted it open 24 hours a day. That seemed extreme to me. There's no facts as to how many in and outs per day. There was no traffic study. The surrounding residents raised issues as to safety with no traffic turning lane. And then there's the issue of if these trucks sit there and they're idling or what they're carrying, it further as a safety and harm to the surrounding area. So based on those points, it would be my reason for denying it.
Other comments?
I had problems with the road. You just got that 2-lane highway there, which is there a lot of traffic on there, and there's no really turn in lanes into this place and turn out lanes.
I'd like to kind of piggyback on that and just point out that the warehouse to the west and the landscaping and FedEx building to the east. All of those facilities have deceleration lanes to enter them, and then they also have left-hand turn lanes. And I can tell you that if you're going westbound during rush hour, a semi truck is going to have to stop before it can make the turn, safely make the turn. And you're gonna back up traffic a long way with that stacking if they have to stop in that single lane. So that's the reason why I
Okay,
support this proposal.
good points. With respect to traffic, I'd just like to, I guess I don't have to go much farther than to say that I agree particularly with Mr. Ketter's second point. It's difficult, we don't ordinarily consider sort of concept plans. And while I'm sympathetic to the petitioner who says, I don't know whether to go forward with the project or not, until I get some indication of approval from a zoning authority. But in this, and so while we want details, petitioners, sometimes aren't prepared to give them because it is truly just a concept plan, which we don't favor. I tried to balance those interests, but I think Mr. Ketter made this point as well. These folks profess to be professionals and experts in this particular facility. And I mean, they just came to us and said, we don't want any limitations. We'd like to, go forward with as broad an approval as possible. So a conditional use is not appropriate under those circumstances. The other aspect of the conditional use that we have to find something particular about the site, I think Mr. Schultz and Mr. Murphy have accomplished that. So I'm ready to vote myself. There are no further comments. Oh, I don't see any other comments. So who's calling the roll?
Member Murphy,
Yes.
Member Schultz,
Yes.
Member Vermont,
Aye.
Member Anderson,
Aye.
Member Moran,
Aye.
Member Cutter,
Aye.
Chairman Cartha.
Aye. The motion to deny passes by a vote of 7 in favor and none opposed. Will go forward to the development committee with that recommendation. What's the development committee date? For the sake of
February
the
24th.
February 24th. Okay. We don't have any old business on the agenda, nor do we have new business, but do we have any public comment that's been submitted in writing? Is there anyone from the audience that wants to make public comment on any subject? I'm not talking about public comment on this case or any of the cases that were considered tonight, but just we're required to take public comment on open matters. So I don't see anybody in the audience that's requesting to make public comment.
On the development committees, the 21st.
Oh, it's 21st? Okay, we'll correct the record to reflect the development committee on the 21st.
I'm sorry, I wasn't understanding exactly the public comment option. Was it?
It's a requirement that we've had for about, I don't know, approximately 6 or 8 months, roughly, that when we have a monthly recommendation meeting, we're required to open the floor for public comment. We allow 3 minutes for anyone that wants to make public comment. Sometimes that public comment is submitted to us in writing. And as I say, it's not necessarily related to any of the cases. It could be related to your opinion about who should win the mayor's race in the city of Chicago. So
Interesting.
sometimes we get that.
So can we comment on one of the issue that was just voted on? Can I say something?
Yes, you could say, yeah, I said it doesn't necessarily have to be related to that,
Okay.
but you can comment. You just identify yourself and
Sure.
public comment is not under oath, is it? No. Yeah, I didn't think so.
So I'm Steve Burning. I own the property at Butterfield Road that you voted on. And when the state put in the highway, they put in a turning lane that extends not only for FedEx, but also to Seabird and then to us. There isn't an arrow, but it's there. Everybody coming from Butter 59 going westbound, when I come there, I go in that left lane. It's the center lane, it's 3 lanes, just like FedEx is. Just like Seabird has. Pull in, if there's traffic going eastbound, you wait, then you turn it. I guess I was amazed that that was an issue. To me, that was one of the best things the state ever did. Because what they did for FedEx, they did for Seabird, they did for me. So I'm confused about that part. I got to get clarity on that in my head, my own mind.
Anything else?
No.
Okay, so because your remark does in fact relate to one of the cases that we had, I think you can take some, have some assurance that the remarks will be included in the record and will, when the matter goes to the development committee for consideration, can I ask that the staff include these, be certain to include the public comments? Great. Okay.
Could I add another then? I didn't know that my voice really counted. I thought perhaps I was just.
Counts as much as anybody else's,
Okay,
including
great.
mine.
Well, thank you. And
Do you, now, I will say, if you would rather, I'll do whatever you like, and you can do either or both. But if you want to include a thoughtful public comment in writing to be included for the development committee, you can do that.
absolutely. Will we get a comment of the objections or written note of the objections so we can address them?
Of our record this evening,
Well, yes.
it's public record, we can
So we can get those.
get that.
I'm not sure that.
Access to the public record by contacting the staff.
I see, that's great. So one of the things I heard was the property was too narrow and to turn on the property safely is what I heard the owner saying is when you turn, there needs to be safety in turning on the property so that when they make their turn, they are not in an unsafe situation. So they wanted the aisles to be wide out from the center out towards the fences. You can't turn a truck in a short radius. You got to have a bigger space. So everything's got to be spread out. Then they have to spread out to the fence. That to me was a hardship case. The property is long and narrow. That's why God made it. So
Okay. Thank you, sir. Anything else?
I can't think of any right now.
Very good. All right, then, if there's nothing else, we'll adjourn the recommendation meeting for this evening.